All right. Let's roll some rocks.
Here we go, the final. Ben Francis, Stephen Willem. Here's the lag. Looks like Stephen is going to come up a little short. Ben's going to win that lag. And this is the final.
The final.
Yeah, so it will be a race to 9. Should Stephen win, that will be the end of it. He was the A-side champion. If Ben wins this, they will switch back over to the 7-foot and play a race to 7.
I am hoping to see a second match. Just saying.
Yeah, even though it's late, we want to see the best pool out of both of these guys. The best games they got. I wouldn't care if it went hill here and then hill on the box.
So Ben's got the first break, won the leg, and we are off and rolling. If you guys could take a quick minute and just share the stream for us, this should be a pretty great match. As they have proved earlier tonight, no gimmies.
He has come up dry and left a shot at the 1. We do have a little bit of a something that Stephen's got to take care of there with the 8 and 9 tied up over on that side.
Is he able to cut this one? I'm not sure if he's behind that 7 at all.
No, he's got the full 1 ball.
Does
he's just making sure he gets over enough for the 2. And again, like I say, he's got to address that, unless he wants to play safe behind on the 8-9. But
a little bump. Could use a little bump. Hits the 4 square in the face to hold it for the 2. Brilliant.
I'm going to just move my chair around a little closer to you, Steph, so that I'm not sitting in the aisle and distracting Stephen in any way, because he does not like movement when he's playing. He is liable to throw a chalk at my head.
A javelin toss right in the face.
So I will just sit here and as still as I can.
Stephen has gone for his extension, a bit of a reach.
Yeah, he's got a nice angle to swing off this 2 ball and get to center table for the 3 in the opposite corner. Hit to perfection.
Yeah, he couldn't have been much straighter. So now what does he do for the 4 ball? Do you play for the window?
Yeah, if he's dead straight in, he'll stop it right there. If not, he'll probably draw back up table, because from where the stop shot on the 3 would be, he still has perfect angle to go off that long rail and back up for the 5. He's just going to have a look now and see what kind of an angle he's got. But yeah, if he's straight enough in, I think he'll stop right there. Maybe even roll a ball forward.
Like we mentioned, that 8-9 could use a little rub just to open it up.
Yeah, I mean, there is a safety there if he doesn't, but nobody wants to run down to the 8-9 when you're stroking the ball well and not get out.
Yeah, I think that when you have something like that, it's easier to address when you got some traffic on the table, a couple little obstacles to hide behind, right? You don't want to wait until last minute, especially down to the last couple of balls.
And he was straight enough to roll that a ball and a half forward. And he'll just come off that long rail and back to the same side for the 5 ball in the same corner pocket. He's got great angle here, so it's shooter's choice from here, whether you want to follow through from tops and just come straight down, or whether you want to swing at the 2 rails.
Looks like he's going with the forward.
Doesn't want to be too straight here, because he's hoping that on the 6 ball he can get low enough on the 7 that he can put the 7 in the corner and roll the cue ball into the 8 and 9. So there we go. That answers that question. He will swing this cue ball 2 rails, the short rail into the long rail, and come right up in behind the 8 ball. And hopefully he gets some love from the pool gods, because where they end up is anyone's guess. Lisa McCord is asking, where is this being played? We are at Leather Pocket in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
If you have never experienced our Alberta pool scene, it's a pretty strong one. We're pretty blessed with a really great pool community here. So lots of tournaments, lots of action.
Joey is asking, is this only on Facebook now?
No,
Nope, it is streaming on YouTube as well, is it not?
we are following along on the comments on both platforms, on Facebook and YouTube. So feel free to chat us up, guys.
You're welcome, Lisa, and thank you for tuning in and watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Smash that share button, hit some likes. Yeah,
These
so
guys play pretty great. They deserve all the viewing opportunities. Good safety, Ben says.
Yeah, I think he left himself a little more angle on the 7 that he wanted, so he just, I'll take the safety. It was a gimme safety, so.
Well, like we mentioned, I mean, the 8-9 did need a little bit of a nudge to open it up, so I think he did play for the shape to the safety.
Yeah, because, like I said, anything can go wrong when you're smacking into a couple of balls. They could roll any which way. And we'll see if the mule is still kicking straight.
Steven left him pretty tight to the back of the 9, so it does take out a lot of the options. He's going to have to spin this. He's looking at it real tough.
Yeah, is he spinning or is he zigzagging? Is he going to play the old Efren?
I think he's spinning it.
Yeah, right past it. That was a tough hit. That was a tall order for Ben there. Perfectly executed safety by Steven, and he gets rewarded for it.
So Triple P says all good on the tube.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Johnny. While we have you here on the tube, Johnny, another quick thanks for helping us out on the commentary this weekend. It's always so great. We've got so many helping hands filling in the gaps. We were all players in this one this weekend. So it took some coordination to keep the stream going with some pretty good commentary, if I do say so myself. Grant and Ben, Johnny, Ryan.
Yeah, Johnny's so knowledgeable at the game, too.
Well, and Johnny's part of the team, right? So, I mean, he knows these guys in and out.
Absolutely.
And has just watched
Oh,
so
no,
much.
Here we go
pool.
again. What the heck is going on?
You know, Johnny's able to tell us, you know, what kind of spin and maybe what to do next and do this versus that and what the advantages are. So we definitely appreciate you, Johnny.
And thank you, Lisa, for sharing and loving that. And this is the Steven has missed that cut to that corner with that same kind of draw stroke a few times tonight. And it's, you can tell it's starting to frustrate him.
A little heavy on the weight.
He is good.
A little bit of a back cut on the 10, but he should be all right.
A little tricky. He's going to take a little time to address this one.
Gonna lose the cue ball a little bit, so wants to make sure that he does that correctly. No problem, and Ben strikes first on the board.
I was not expecting that out of Steven. Little early jitters, maybe.
Shirley has a grown-up job that she has to go to in the morning, so she can only watch a little bit longer. Well, you know, Shirley, if you're late one time, is it that big of a deal? It's a good thing you can go back and catch the end.
And we sure do appreciate you sticking around right till the bitter end. Is as much as you can. So
Happy Thanksgiving to all of our U.S. viewers. It is just a regular weekend, Black Friday weekend for us here in Canada. And the only reason why we get Black Friday is because of the Americans. we haven't had Black Friday actually for up until fairly recently,
Yeah.
just for the last few years, right?
but we're thankful for it because get some pretty good deals.
That's right. Who's not thankful for Black Friday?
Oh, he's made the
He
9
made a ball, made the 1 ball, but not a look at the 2.
No, he
Oh,
made the 9 ball.
it was the
inside.
9
Yeah,
ball.
Yeah, he's on the 1 too. So here we go.
My mistake.
And he almost scratched in that side again. I think he switched up the break when he was using his break, where he was breaking from the center and drawing it back to the short rail. It seemed to be working in a couple of his other matches, earlier matches, but he's now gone to a little off center and kind of playing almost like a cut break.
Well, he's been struggling with his break kind of on and off all day. So he's been kind of adjusting here and there. It doesn't surprise me.
And you know what? He'll come back to this table Monday, Tuesday, whenever he gets back here, and he'll break 100 racks on this, and he'll make 99 times. He'll make balls. You know.
Well, the funny thing about, breaks on particular tables, like Ben, this is his home club, right? And he's one of the house pros here.
Yep.
And so he's broken, can't even imagine how many racks on these tables. But Calgary's one of those places where we get a lot of weather changes.
Yeah.
And just happens to be from yesterday and today, with yesterday being very nice, probably plus 15, plus 10-ish yesterday, to windy and cold and snowing today. So, I mean, maybe that's a factor with the breaks.
Yeah, the weather changes definitely affects the cloth.
Yeah.
And the temperature within the room. If it's humid in here, they're going to play a little slower. If, when it's really dry like it is now, they speed up a little bit, and you get some different bounces from the rails. Which I think he's okay here. He's a little jacked up off the rail, but he speared that in, no problem. Great shot there.
Lisa likes the commentary. The fact that we acknowledge in the chat makes watching more enjoyable. Thank you. You are very welcome, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all the viewers, all the shares. The reason why this stream started was just because we had such, like I've said before, such a big pool community in Calgary, and we had so many of our guys traveling to these tournaments that it was nice to be able to watch as they played away, and it just kind of grew into this. We had so many tournaments at home.
Look out, 10 ball. Wow.
He just got by it.
That was...
It was close. Ben is taking a couple of minutes just to regroup because he was pretty sure he was going to be stuck behind that 10 ball.
Might have puckered him up a little bit there.
Yeah. But we had such a large community of pool players and had so many tournaments that it grew into this streaming adventure. And then we thought, hey, let's just take this opportunity to help the average player maybe map some tables, explain why, have some chats. This is all our passion, so it's grown quite a bit in the last few years.
Oh, Lisa is living in California now. She says, I'm Canadian, but I live in California now. You were definitely sick of the snow, I guess.
Took it to the next level.
Yeah. I wish I was out there joining you right now. And if you're close, you got to check out, if you like watching great pool, go check out Oscar Dominguez's room out there in LA.
So winter break format, Ben Francis racking up the next one. Shirley says the Calgary pool community is the best. We are a family. We absolutely are. Helping each other out when needed through pool. It has made us close. I would have to fully, wholeheartedly agree. We've, you always run into some hardships when you know so many people in this community, and we kind of rally together. one person can't really make a difference, but if we all rally together and do a little piece, then we can help somebody out. We've done that quite a few times, and we are happy to be a part of any of that.
And we got Gunnar tuning in. He was in this tournament. He went pretty deep too. He played all the way up. I think it was the last match he played was with Dean Holton. So he was playing very, very well.
Another great finish for him. He just, every tournament, he just kind of climbs up, levels up a little bit.
All right, Steven's back in here. I think Ben came up dry again, and again his cue ball off that break was flirting with that side pocket. So I don't know how long he's going to want to tempt fate. I think he should go back to the break that was successful for him in the beginning at center table instead of playing that cut to the side.
Well, I can't wait to visit Oscar's room one day. I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait. The only pro room I've ever been in was, and he was my favorite player growing up. He's still one of my favorite players, is Johnny Archer. I was in his room in Georgia many a moon ago. But
is that coincidence that we're talking about Oscar and Johnny in the same conversation bubble?
Yeah. And we're days away from the Mosconi. Yeah. Two of the superstars from the Mosconi team.
It's funny.
Yeah, Oscar's back this year on the Mosconi team, which is good to see.
He is. I'm so excited for him. This is and it wasn't necessarily a need. It was more of a want, and he wanted it so bad that he just put in all the extra work, and it paid off for him. So I'm glad it paid off for Oscar.
Well, he's made some comments in the past too that are going to live in infamy if anyone follows the Mosconi Cup. So yeah.
It's funny.
I'm not going to repeat it on here.
They don't mic the players up anymore. It's weird.
Yeah. And that's when another one of my favorite players was playing that year, which was Dennis Hatch. And I mean, I love Dennis's, kill them all, let God sort them out attitude. Yeah, he's done it again.
We caught another hanger. We got a hanger.
We got a hanger.
That's right. Oscar's room is Hard Times in Sacramento.
That's correct.
Yeah. And Oscar is just one of those genuinely nice guys. I don't know if you guys follow any of the podcasts. We're friends with and follow along with Windows Open Pool Players podcast with Joey Ryan, Melina Mike Pinozzo, and they do all the podcasts and give all the information on anything you could possibly want. Mosconi, Matchroom, Predator, the events, the odds, the gambling, all that kind of stuff. And if you guys follow them, they've had Tyler on talking about getting back on the Mosconi Cup team. And Tyler had a really great story about Oscar and how they kind of became friends in the very beginning when Tyler was just an up-and-comer. Oscar took him in and took him under his wing and housed him for a few months and helped him get a job and a car and all that kind of stuff. And had that not have happened, Tyler would not be on the pool path that he was on ever. And it was he said it was a kind of a bittersweet moment when he got chosen for the Mosconi team and Oscar didn't. So it was kind of a really nice, heartfelt story, but it really shows you the backstory of who some of these players are inside, not just on a TV screen, right?
And I was just going to mention it as it pops up, Jason saying that he does so much work with the juniors. I was just going to mention that. Yeah, it is amazing, the work that he does. And, he comes by it honestly, too. I mean, if you've ever met Ernesto, his father, I mean, you never meet a more genuinely, just an absolute beautiful man. He is such a cool guy.
I love him. He's the nicest guy.
And quite possibly, arguably, the best table mechanic on the planet.
Yeah, Predator's really putting him through the ringer, just calling on him for, all the maintenance all the time. He travels, he does everything. He'll give you the shirt off his back.
Oh, yeah, literally.
Well, but
Ben's going to break here. He's starting to run away with this stuff.
Are we going to get a ball here?
Right at that side pocket again. But
That
he's made
7
the
ball
9
was
ball
going,
again.
did he?
Yeah, he's made the 9 ball again.
Yeah, heard something drop.
And he's got a wide open table here again.
Okay, so I did miss this comment on YouTube. Dave says, just got here. If Ben wins, do they play the next one on the 7-footer? That is correct. So Steven is the A-side winner, has not lost yet. This is a true double elimination tournament. So if Ben, coming from the B-side, takes this set out, they will play a B-side match on the 7-footer in the second set.
You are 100% correct there, Lisa. Watch out for Adrian Prasad. I have seen a few of his clips, and he is definitely a protege. And yeah, he's the next generation. Like I said, the next generation of pool players coming up are
Monsters.
amazing. And I mean, I'm not saying this because Steph's sitting beside me, but you ought to see her little guy play. He is the future of Calgary pool, and I mean, he has the potential to be a world-class player. He'll get on the 9 foots. He can barely see over the rail, and he'll spear in an entire table. Like, and even your oldest son, he's pretty good at pool.
He's not bad. He's not bad. The little one, I think, has a little bit more heart for it. He's got a little bit more patience,
Yeah.
and more a bigger attention span for the game, whereas Brandon tends to, something shiny in the corner, and he'll take off, play it for half an hour, and then he'll take off and, game out for a bit and then come back. But the little one, literally at home, he'll go down and just practice for half an hour or so by himself. He'll just go and hit balls for half an hour, come back up, go back down. But fun fact, Adrian Prasad is one of the Jam Up Junior sponsored players.
Yes, indeed, he is.
Along with Savannah Easton and Sophia Mast. Keep your eye out on these juniors, because some of them are going to be world class.
I love watching the Roadrunner. Little Easton,
She
she's so
is-
cute.
And her family is one of the most supportive families I have ever seen in any sport. Oh no. Ben misses the 5 ball.
And that was very uncharacteristic. They're missing some weird balls tonight. But Steven needs this. I mean, if Ben gets up 4-0, Steven has got to close this out and get back in this match.
Yep. Savannah Easton is on the Jam Up roster. Sophia Mast. Who else do we have? We've got like 15 of them. It's crazy.
You know what's funny? Lisa's mentioning that, Mosconi Cup. We were talking about that, how entertaining that would be if they had like a junior Mosconi Cup. But we would want included in that Canada, and maybe the other one being the Philippines, or Philippines and China combined.
Yeah.
Team Asia. That would be so much fun to watch. So you would have U.S., Europe, Asia, and
It wouldn't surprise me if the junior program that SVB is coming out with kind of encompass something like that, some sort of nation team Mosconi style event for the juniors. Wouldn't surprise me if he came out with something like that.
he overcut. Oh,
No, he didn't.
no, it looked like it was going to wipe its feet.
It
but
was close.
Steven is on the board and breaking. That was a huge game for Steven and for Ben. That was kind of a crusher for Ben. Wasey says Steve Kyriakis is a pretty good junior pool player.
I'm not gonna, no comment. Take the fifth. Evan Broxmeyer is asking, why is there space splitting Steven's last name? Because that is actually how you spell it. So, fun fact, Stephen Holem his dad is half Chinese, half Indigenous. So he's got an Asian last name, which is Holem. And Stephen actually used to live with me for a bit. So, and when I first met him, I said, "Is your name actually Holem, or is it Holem?" And he said, "It's actually Holem, but it's just people just have kind of taken off with this Holem thing for
easier
so
to say.
long." He's just like, I just never correct him. So
Look at this smash of a break. He got a little funny on the one ball. It looked like it was going to stop nicely for him, but I don't know if he can play that one in off the 6 in the side. It's hard to tell.
maybe he just
even the
combos the
combo.
6. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It is slightly past center, but I think it's pretty much in the pocket.
He
We'll
might
see.
even be banking this to hold for the 2 ball. I didn't see what he called. Yeah, he called.
Oh,
the bank.
nails the
And
bank.
just perfect.
Like it was like a 2-inch shot from the pocket. Just fires it in.
So he's going to look to come 2 rails. He's just checking now how much angle he wants to widen off this shot. So he's going to come up 2 rails and he absolutely just has to make sure he gets in the gap between the 8 and 10. Don't try to get too close. Don't do anything crazy clever. Just get out to center table. The 6 is a hanger. The 7's right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Stephen has got this uncanny ability to just really bear down. Like when he's down, he has the ability to reset, regroup, walk up to the table, and punish you for every mistake you make.
100% agree with that. So
Ben's ability is the grind,
yes.
but Stephen's ability is the reset. It's tough to do.
Yeah, it is tough to reset yourself mentally when you've made an error. We all do it. We get down on ourselves, but Stephen is bouncing back here. He's going to draw back out from the 6 ball. He wanted to come a little bit more than that, but he's okay. As long as he doesn't run into the 8 when he goes across table, or into the 10 if he decides to go that way. But I think he's just going to kind of punch this.
Punch over for the 8 in the bottom right. Punch over for the top right.
Just don't run into it. Yeah, he
8
was
in the
close.
side even.
Yeah, he was close. That was what he was looking at first. Running into that 8 ball would have been death.
Evan, I'm not sure about the Filipino part. Possibly. I'm not going to say no, but I don't think so.
And this will put Stephen at 3-2 in breaking.
That was a big swing. Big swing.
Yeah, do you see what I mean about the momentum change there? For
Yeah.
you guys watching, instead of being 4-0, if Ben doesn't miss that 5 ball in the corner of the 6 ball, whatever one he jammed there, it's 4-0. Now it's 3-2 from a missed ball.
That's right. Because Stephen was able to run out that table and break and run the next. So
Right.
that miss cost Ben 2 games.
Yeah, or possibly 3 or 4. You never know
Yes.
where Stephen stops putting the gas on.
That's right. Lisa also mentioned the Tates. Absolutely. Joey Tate, Bethany Tate, Payne McBride. All on the jam up list.
Someone saying about his younger brot's pants.
Those are his younger brother's pants.
Silas Holm.
Silas. I'm gonna ask him about that. That's funny.
1 ball into the corner. How does the 2 set up?
Does not dress up nicely for Stephen.
Nope.
So he's gonna have to come up with something here.
I like the push down towards the back rail, just leaving Ben like a nick of the 2 ball. It's going to be hard to swing that ball around the 3 rails to get back into a safety because the 8, 6, and 10 there, they take a lot of the table away. Or with the way that Steven's been jumping, I think the 7 ball's a little bit close, but he could have pushed into a jump too. No, he likes my first one. He's going to push down to the bottom corner and just leave Ben the outside edge of that 2. I hope he didn't leave him too much because he can stop that ball there and run the 2 ball around the world.
I don't think so. I think Ben can only see maybe half the ball here.
Yeah, that's what I like. So it's too thin to go around the world and catch unless he gets a jelly rub off the 8 or 6. Yeah, see, he could see the whole ball. That was the only, he rolled it out too far. Giving the edge took that shot away, but being able to see the full ball, that was always going to be on the menu.
Are we going to see a jump shot here?
I wouldn't
We
be
are.
surprised.
Steven's got his jumper in his hands, taking off the back piece.
Yeah, the kick would be tough. That 3 ball is the size of a beach ball from that angle. So, has he called anything, though, Steph?
I didn't see him call anything. I think he's just going for the hit here. Maybe come off the top rail.
Wants that to slow down. He does not want it to sit over the side, and it has dressed up right over the side pocket.
It's going to be a little tricky for Ben to get back to where he's at for the 3.
Yeah, he'll probably play a bunch of inside and check the cue ball off the long rail, then off the short rail, back onto the long rail and down table. If he can't get around the 6 and 8. But he may have, yeah, I think he has to hit the 2 ball too thin.
It's tough. He's taken a real good look at it, and his facial expression says this is a tall ask.
I wonder if he can pound it thick and just draw straight across the table, if he's got enough to almost kind of like throw that 2 ball in off the right hand horn and just punch it in real thick and draw past the 4.
He's drawing.
Yeah,
That's what he was looking at.
that was never going to be an easy shot. That's kind of why I like the inside English, to skip inside of those and between those balls and the corner pocket and back down. But
All right, so didn't work out. So now what?
I think he's going to look to hide here. He's going to he'll probably call the corner pocket, the bank corner, and play the 2-way between the 7 and behind the 7 and 9 there.
I was kind of looking at
Yeah,
maybe going the other way and hiding behind the 8. The only reason why is because I'm kind of looking at, you would have to hit it perfect. But I mean, there's a possible scratch into the side pocket if you get too close to the side there, right?
Yeah, the
When
problem
you're trying
with
to get
that
behind
though
the,
is
the 7, 8, 9.
if you call the 2-way and go behind the 8, he takes the 4 out of the equation. If you go in behind the 7 and 8, the 4 plays on the other side. So he can play the 2-way if the 3 ball drops. So he'll call it.
Okay.
That's how I think. See,
You're right.
But he hit it way too full.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did you see that? It caught the spot there and took a turn and actually opened up the angle better. Watch on the replay here. When the 3 ball comes up to the head spot, Steven gets a little bit of a love roll off of it.
Is there maybe a little piece of chalk or something on the table?
Yeah, watch when the 3 ball comes to settle here. Oh, Steven hit it into the rail
Overcut
again.
it.
Yeah.
Overcut it.
And he is not going to be happy with this. Ben says thank you very much.
I will take this opportunity to run this table out.
Yeah, he'll just kind of punch down there and leave himself on angle on the 4 ball. Oh, you got almost perfectly straight too. That's even better. Now he can roll past the 8 ball for the 5 in the bottom corner. And he can control whatever angle he wants for the 5 ball from here now.
Evan's asking who is commentating. It is Ryan Murray and myself, Stephanie Toy, just kind of taking over the commentary for the remainder of the event. Thank you everyone for joining us. We would appreciate it if you shared the stream. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like. That helps more than you know as far as visibility. Getting the followers will help us with any partners or affiliations that we can drum up. It goes further than you think, so we definitely appreciate it. And these guys deserve it. I mean, they're playing some pretty stellar pool.
Yes, they are. The odd hiccup here and there, but for the most part. And it is getting late. I mean,
These guys
have
have
been here
played
since 11 o'clock this morning.
Well, technically since like 11 o'clock Saturday morning.
Right, right.
It's pretty much been nonstop.
And he swung that around 2 rails. He wants to get a little bit of angle here. He doesn't want to be straight. He's perfect.
I think that you'll see him slide over.
Yeah, this is, we should
8 ball.
rename this shot the Ben Shuffle because he goes to this shot a lot. He loves it.
The Ben slide, the Ben Francis slide.
And he is absolutely perfect on the 8 ball. He's just going to punch this off the long rail and back out for the 9 in the side. And this will be just a slight follow through for make sure he gets a good angle on the 10. He can shallow this up a little bit.
Yeah, just wants to come off the rail so he's not shooting from the beach.
Punches that in for a 4-2 lead.
Just wants to make sure he keeps the lead on Steven.
And this will get back to where we were saying about the grind. You will never see Ben out of a match. You won't see Steven out of a match. So
Just a quick shout out to our home club here, the Leather Pocket Billiards, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. They welcome us with open arms every time. They treat us so good, have so many great events, do so much for the players. I believe actually Steven was the receiver of a Predator Q for this event.
He won the Q draw.
So thanks to Leather Pocket for the Q. It was a nice 4-point Predator Q. Everybody who entered in the event was put into the draw and drawn randomly, and Steven won a Q.
Yeah, for no money. And the Predator sponsored the one at the Hui too.
That's right.
2 weeks ago, and there was a Q won by
Phil Tarangelo
Phil
won that one.
Tarangelo, yes, Stan's brother.
He won one of the I can't remember the name of the Q. It was a Titan, the brand new blue Titan.
Yeah, with the 30-inch 314-3.
Yeah.
Beautiful Q. And now Steven's picked himself up a road line Q with the, I believe, the 30-inch Predator 314-3 as well. So congrats to Steven.
Lisa is signing off for the night. Thank you so much for the great commentary. Nice to meet you both. Take care. Good night. Thank you so much for joining us, Lisa. Happy Thanksgiving weekend in California.
Yeah, it was our pleasure, and enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, make sure you follow along with us, and you'll get a notification the next time we go live.
He's got he's pushed into a jump. He's going to say, here, Steven.
Do you like that? I don't know if I like that. Steven jumps so good.
Yeah, but what else do you leave him? How do you leave Steven even a look at a ball? So, and he has to control this. He's got a downward angle from the 2 ball, so he's going to be tracking to that corner pocket. Just like that. So There wasn't a lot Stephen could do as far as getting shape on the 3 ball.
Just make the ball.
Yeah, but now he's got options. He can play one of his 100-mile-an-hour banks or lock Ben up in a safety. I think he's going to chip off the left side of the 3 and come up table and play safe.
Nope, go for the bank. Oh, he almost had it. He didn't miss that by much.
No, I think he's playing too loose. You can't do this with Ben. You cannot leave Ben Francis open tables. He will put it on you.
Buck is asking if it's a true double elimination. It absolutely is. So Ben's coming around from the B side. And so if Ben takes down this set, we will go to the 7-foot for the second set.
And that will be a race to 7.
So is Ben bumped into the 4-ball and kind of put in a position where he's not loving it.
No.
So is he looking at this carom now? What? I think he might be.
He sure did.
He did. What a nice shot.
Well, sometime you find gold in garbage, right?
That is true. That is true.
So what he thought was a mess at first when he rubbed that, he had a second look and the carom was on.
That was a really nice shot.
He did very well to control that.
A couple more times before we shut down for the evening. It is a Black Friday sale at Jam Up Apparel. If you guys had your eye on anything there, make sure that you hop on the website, get what you had your eye on. It is 25% off the entire site, which probably will not happen again. So if you had your eye on anything, make sure you head over, check out with those items. 25% off. Get your team gear. Get yourself or one of your buddies a gift certificate for later on. Works on everything.
Yeah, any pool player in your life would love to open up some Jam Up Apparel on Christmas morning. So
Right? And keep your eye on the site. We're coming out with some new gear pretty soon here. There's some new Predator stuff getting added. There's some new Jam Up stuff getting designed. More T-shirts, some quarter zips, hoodies. We're coming out with a whole new line.
I don't know if Stephen left Ben the window here to the 1-ball. It's very, very close. And this time he played the safety. He wasn't attacking the bank. That's why I say when he took that bank on and didn't make it, I think he's just playing a little bit too loose. Because he could have played a pretty lock-up safety.
I think he's got the window.
I think he does too.
So I'm kind of right in line with the cue ball to the 9. If this wall wasn't in my way, I could maybe get a better look, but Ben's given her the old stink eye down that pathway, and I think he does have the window.
Yeah, he just has to hair swerve this, and he's got it. How do you like them apples?
Wow.
What a shot.
Great shot.
Didn't get a lot of love, but
yeah, bumped into the 8.
but he's got a shot here to get up get up underneath the 9 and 10, using the 2 and the 3, or I'm not sure if he's got the shot to roll through here. Yeah, he's looking at the 2-way, so he's going to bank the 2-ball back to the bottom left-hand corner and use the roll off the 3-ball to get up table behind the 9 and 10. This is a fantastic shot. Very smart. He won't really be playing to make the 2, but he's going to call it just in case. This is all about the safety. And I think he caught it just a hair thick. That's why he didn't get the travel out of the cue ball he was looking for.
Yeah.
So, Stephen back to the table with a bit of a tester here.
Yeah, good news, bad news is that this is no gimme. I mean, this is still got to come with a shot. But he does see the full ball, and he has options. So, at Stephen's caliber, I wouldn't be surprised if.
He is going to do the same thing to Ben. He's playing the two-way. He's banking it back and going to look to hide behind the 4 and 6. Well,
Or the 7?
Yeah, he might have got behind the 7.
He sure did.
Yep. Well controlled. And you can see there he missed the corner by a mile because he's really not trying to make that 2-ball.
It was
it's
just
in
in case.
Yeah. But we'll probably see Ben go to the air here.
I believe we are.
And if
This
you
is a Nix Q Innovation custom carbon fiber shaft.
Yeah, one of his new jump shafts. And I'll tell you right now, paired with a white diamond, they should be outlawed. They should be illegal. Watch how easy Ben gets over this ball with just a touch. He raves about this cue. He just kind of gives it a little flick and it's just effortless. And I mean, Ben doesn't have big hands. He's not a tall guy. So he needed something that he could, that would help with his jumping game, and he found it. Nix Q Innovations.
We're going to give Nick a quick shout out right now. Looks like Steven's just going to run to the washroom real quick. So Nix Q Innovation, if you guys need any maintenance or anything made for your cue, Nick is your guy. He is fantastic. He fixes things that should not be fixable. He really gives everything to his craft. He does maintenance while you're out of town also. So if you want to ship him your equipment, he will ship it back to you. Super timely and very reasonable priced.
Steven's just studying the table here while Ben's gone. He's mapping out his road to the finish here.
I think the 2-ball passes the 5 into the side. A little tricky to get from the 3 to the 4, possibly.
The nice thing for where the 4-ball is, he has a double pocket. The 8-ball is right there too, so if he ends up coming where he's got to kind of chop the 4 into the rail and then off the 8. But I look for, he'll probably draw right back and put himself in good position to come.
I am right dead behind this 4-ball, and he can fit a truck in between the rail and the 8, so I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No, he's just got to make sure that when he draws back off this 2-ball, he's either, I'm not sure if it's better to come closer to the long rail and kind of roll up off the head rail naturally over to the left side of the table, or if he's going to draw or kind of stick right there and punch back over from the long rail. So shooter's choice again. Me personally, I like bringing the cue ball back closer to the long rail and using the natural angle, kind of the blind shot on the 3 to the blind pocket and coming up that way. But they're just taking a minute. They're having a little joke with themselves over there.
Don't mind us. We're just over here waiting.
Yeah, they're kind of razzing each other. You know, what's the joke between buddies?
What are you doing next weekend? I don't know. What are you doing next weekend?
Yeah, in a final event, you know. I guess when you're When you're in this position a lot, it's just another day at the office for these guys. Okay, so he liked kind of punching back across.
All right, so is he going to be looking to hit the window between the 5-7 for shape on the 4? Is he going to go to the top side of the 4 and shoot it down?
He's going
Oh,
underneath.
he's going the top side. Okay.
He wanted to make sure he was taking everything out of the equation, but is he playing a safety here, or is he going to shoot at this? It's a safety time.
Nice and snug to the 6. Another tap by Ben. Ben's been tapping the table a lot. Nice safety, sir. Nice safety.
And you know what the funny thing is? While Ben's tapping, when he comes to the table, when he leaves the table, you can't see it because it's off camera, but Steven's tapping the table that he's sitting at because Ben's been kicking out of every safety he's been put in.
That's right.
So-
We were saying outside that Ben shouldn't be able to get out of some of these safeties, and Steven's like, nope, he
Yeah.
shouldn't. But he is.
Yeah, he couldn't believe that when he had Ben on the 2 foul and the 3 foul and welded the 1 and 6 together on the opposite side. I mean, God himself would have had a hard time kicking out of that, and he hit it absolutely perfect. I'll bet you he was less than 2% to make that hit.
Yeah, we had to really take another look on the tablet with the delay just to make sure that it was a good hit, because we just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a tight shot.
And it was funny because Steven turned to Ben and said, "Was that a good hit?" And Ben said, "No, it was a great hit."
Yeah.
So Steven's in pretty good shape here now. He needs to capitalize. He's got to get back in this match somehow, and that's not going to do it.
Uh-oh.
He chopped that right into the horn, but he came up. Ben will go to the air here.
He's got his Nix Q Innovations carbon fiber shaft out.
Yeah, watch on the replay here. He looks like he decells on this. Yeah, he certainly did. Did not stroke through that ball. Oh, Ben.
Oh no, that was a misstep.
We are definitely starting to see some fatigue. That's the only answer for this. Both players are tired. What time are we? We are after midnight.
Yeah, just a few minutes after 12.
And they've still got a possible hour left in this game if it goes the distance. And should Ben win it, another hour on the other side.
That's right.
A nice controlled shot there by Steven.
Now, does the 6 pass by the 8?
I believe it does. It's skinny.
The
But
6 is a little bit further out than the 4 was. Oh, he's going to just play around.
well,
I like that.
I love that, yeah. So that, you were probably right, Steph. He probably couldn't get it past the 8. So I like this anyway. It keeps all the ball down here. You just kind of stop with the 6, 7, 8. He doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball.
Agreed. I don't see any problems happening here. 7, 8, 9. 10 is not too far out of the pocket. Pretty much get that from anywhere.
Yeah, that one's a nice 10 ball to finish on. But he's left himself pretty straight here. He's jacked up a little on that 7. I think he got a little funny shooting the 5, so watch outside. He's okay. And he's got the perfect angle to spear this into the corner and draw straight back down on that line for the 10 ball.
Good finish by Steven there. Tightens it up by a game. Joey says, thanks, you two. I was ignoring the time so I could stay up without guilt. No. Negative, Joey. If we have to stay up, you guys have to stay up. Some of us have grown-up jobs to go to in the morning.
Joey, you know you're addicted to pool anyway. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, it is late, though, for a Sunday. And,
James says, Ben sometimes chalks like Mike DeShane. I've never really noticed. I don't know. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen Mike play. So.
yeah. I chalk the same way. I leave my cue on the ground because from playing snooker, learning, you don't hold your cue when you chalk. You set the butt on the ground, and while you're looking, you just kind of rub the tip a little bit, right?
Okay, well, in mine and Ben's defense, I mean, we're so short that it's kind of hard to not have the cue on the ground. But
yeah.
Jason says, I think I'll get my wife some jam up instead of Coach for Christmas. I like how you think, sir. There's some really great ladies stuff on there. I would highly recommend it. I love my jerseys. I've been wearing them all weekend. Even I've got one of the Jam Up t-shirts. The new t-shirts that Jam Up came up with are super soft and comfortable. I would highly recommend the new t-shirts. But I've got one of their new hoodies on, and it's been keeping me nice and warm and toasty all day because it is windy and cold and snowy out there.
It's nasty out here.
Yeah, it's been great.
And it's a wicked color, too, the fade from the kind of dark gray up to the white into the hood. It goes all the different tones of gray up into the white hood. It's amazing looking.
I really like it.
Ooh, he may have overrun this a hair. He's still okay.
Yeah, James says that might be Mike's excuse also. Yeah, Mike's not he's a little vertically challenged also.
Yeah, I wonder why we don't see much of Mike anymore.
I think I heard that he also got a grown-up job.
Yeah. Got a big boy time. We all do.
Sometimes you just got to pay the bills, you know?
Yeah.
It's playing pool for a living is a tough gig for sure.
Especially where they live.
Yeah.
New York can't
There's
be
some
cheap.
tough competition.
I watch these things I catch on Facebook from time to time, and this guy stops people on the sidewalk and says, "What do you pay for rent?" And they show him their
I've seen the
apartments,
guy. Yeah.
and they live in these shoe boxes for like $1,100, $1,200, and
Yeah, 18,
Yeah, it's
2000.
crazy.
Yeah. And American, could you imagine us moving down there? We'd be like, swallow your tongue.
Yeah, I wonder if the wages are comparable. Like, I don't know what minimum wage is in the
Yeah, I'm
U.S.
not
and
sure.
stuff, so or what like a decent paying job in the U.S. pays. I'm sure they'd say the same thing that we say here. You're never paid what you're worth, or never paid enough.
Yeah. No, I am definitely flabbergasted by what some of these guys pay. I think I saw a guy who was like, he paid like over $3,000 in New York, and it was literally a shoebox. It was a door. The kitchen was, I don't think even it had like maybe a foot and a half of counter space on either side of the sink. His fridge was kind of like in the path of the hallway. He had like these, Jimmy Rig Murphy shelves that kind of fell out of the wall for storage.
That's
I was just
crazy.
like, and his living space, like where he watched TV and just chill time, was like an apartment-sized tiny couch that maybe fit 2 people, and his TV was, 5 feet away on the wall. It was tiny.
You know what, Scott? We, Steph and Grant, have some older stock from when they were just trying to get fiddling the sizes around. I guarantee you they have a shirt that would fit you.
Yes.
I've tried the one double extra large on, and I could have fit my wife and my two kids in there with me because it was a test run shirt. So yeah, it's huge, and I'm I'm a big dude. Like I'm 6 foot 260. So
Okay, so I've explained this before. We're a small business, so there was some growing pains and there was some sizing issues. So we do have a box of fairly oversized shirts.
yeah,
Yeah, so send us a message, reach out, and I'm pretty sure we got something for you.
McGruber 260. Well, I might be a little bit less now. I quit drinking about 7 weeks ago, so
Yeah.
I've lost a little bit of weight. It's starting to come down. It's going to make my doctor happy. He's always riding me about the drinking and the smoking, so I'll buy one for Ryan.
David Wilson calling me out. The only time Steph sees the tip of the cue is when it's laying on the table. Come on. Come on.
Bryce is saying Ben over. So you know what? I'd love to agree with you there, but I've seen Steven come back and do things on a pool table that are like inhuman. He's been down at 8-1 in races to 9 and had his opponent never see the table again. So this one ain't over till it's over.
So James Brinson on YouTube says that he misses the jam up hoodies with the pool balls like the American flag, but I'm guessing they didn't sell well in Canada. James, those were on the website for quite a while. We have changed suppliers a couple times since then. That was when we actually really first started out. We just upgraded the designs a little bit. Who's to say we may bring those back actually, because it was actually fairly popular. But Jam Up is supplied out of the U.S., but we do ship to Canada. We do, as of recently, also ship worldwide. So it's definitely not because they didn't sell. It's just, you just you grow and you upgrade and new things get designed and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, what an answer from Steven there on
that was
kick.
real nice.
He might have actually got welded to the 10 there.
He did, actually. I'm just looking at it, and Ben is just behind the 10 ball slightly, just by the edge.
Okay, well, he's calling the bank here, so I guess the 1 does pass the 9, and he is far enough ahead of the 10 ball that he can dig into it a bit. Hey, Mac, let's keep this PG.
Gary Williams says, New York City is crazy. I would have to agree, but it's still on my list.
Yeah, me too. And he did try to play something there, and didn't quite work out. He's left to Steven the 1 ball. Max says, gone, I deleted it.
It's a family show. Come on now.
Look at this. He got in the window. Perfect.
Did he? Enough to cut it over?
I think it goes to the bottom right corner.
Does go to the bottom right.
What a shot. Or is he playing it for the side or a safe? He's got an awful lot of cut on this too. Oh no, I went for the corner. Yep. Yeah, he was just
it's a
making
little
sure
bit
he
of a
got behind the
two-way
3.
because, I mean, he did have to shoot the 3 ball didn't go past the 4, obviously. Doesn't go by the 9-7. David Wilson says he would have loved to make another tournament there this year. Bad timing because of new company and job. Well, David, I will give you that. The new job and company come first, and you know that we will always have great tournaments here in Calgary. So you can always catch up with us.
Ben got enough to get up over this 3. Oh, look at this. he has called the 10 ball here. He is going to jump kick the 210 combo. If he pulls this off, I'm going home. You just won't see a better shot tonight. So he's going to kick the combo.
Made it.
Perfect. That's exactly how I would have played it. That's usually what
If
happens.
he was
to
white
me.
ones, he nailed it.
Well, he had his jump cue in his hand, and he's like calling the 2 in the, or calling the 10 ball. I'm like, holy smokes, he's gonna jump combo this, but we may see an early rack here.
Oh. So Steven's going to take the ball in hand, go for the quick finish of this game. Yeah, he's calling the 10 ball. Just having a real good look at it.
This might be exactly what he needs to get back in this match too, because right now it wasn't looking good for him.
7-3 or 6-4. It's a big swing.
That's huge, and breaking.
Nails it.
Takes a big sigh after that too.
Held his breath on that one. Show you guys the poster for this event here. It was tiered entry. 520 and under paid $25. 521 to 580 was 50. 581 to 620 paid 75. 620 to 680 was $100 to enter. Anyone over 681 paid 125, which is all these guys that we've been watching as of this evening. Format for this tournament was 9-foot diamonds on the A side, racing to 9, 10 ball. Same game on the B side, but we moved over to the 7 foots. Really great format.
Steven to break.
And with the 16 tables in play, it really kind of sped up the play. Oh, scratches off that break. He is gutted. It was a monster break. You make 3 balls, 3, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 2 balls. 2 balls off the break.
And just got kicked up into the side. Ben says thank you again.
Ben is licking his chops.
And I would not bet against Ben not getting out here. Everett, this table lays out perfect.
He knows that Steven was like gearing up for a beatdown,
Yep.
you know? So the fact that he kind of got fortunate in getting a shot at this table, he's like, bring it.
Yeah, he certainly got away there. So, and he needs to take every advantage here and get it to 7-4 and just keep the pressure on Steven.
Jesse, we had 53 entries for this tournament. And because of the staggered entry, the payouts ended up being $1,100 for first, $750 for second, $500 for third, $340 for fourth, $230 for 5-6, 7-8 was $150, and $100 for 9 through 12.
And the leather pocket was gracious enough to add $1,000.
Oh, that was closer than he wanted. A little bit of a regroup for Ben. He's like, "Ooh, that was close." They're gonna run into this 9 ball.
Yeah, he hit that perfect.
Yeah.
And now he'll just slow drag this cue ball off that same rail and just take a little bit of his medicine on the 10 ball. First is $21 an hour.
Thanks for doing the math there, Mac. But honestly, when you can make $21 an hour,
There's a lot of
doing
people-
something that you absolutely
Yeah.
love, being with great company all weekend, why wouldn't you do it?
Yep. There are a lot of people out there that would love to make $21 an hour in this economy.
All right. Jesse is asking if there was a players meeting before. Yes, there was. I was surprised to not see you here for that players meeting. We could have used you.
Yeah, it took a little extra time. There was some of the 400 kind of Fargos that aren't exposed to 10 ball. There was a few questions as to how it works as far as the 3 foul rules and giving it back. They just wanted to make sure. So Jeff and Steph were very thorough about going over the rules.
Another scratch. Cue ball gets kicked in.
I think Ben and Steven might have to go pay their taxes tomorrow. Something's wrong here.
Oh, I forgot to add Ben's game here. Second. It is in fact 7-4.
Yeah, Steven needs to turn on the afterburners here.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the staggered entry, right? It's enticing enough, when the lower level players only have to pay, $25, $30, $40 to get in to play against these great players. But you're guaranteed, a full day of pool, hang out with these players, rub some shoulders, watch some great matches. It's worth it.
Yep.
I've spent, $20, $30, $40 on worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was cheap enough for me to actually pull out my cue and get some experience on these tables and try to play great, right? So staggered entry worked really well to get some of the lower level players out.
Yeah, and if you're a lower handy or a lower Fargo rate, and you think, I'm not going to waste my $25 and get pounded and not have any sort of chance with these guys in the tournament, just ask John Savoy. He had the
Right.
tournament of his life, and he is just barely into the 500s and made it to 5th, 6th.
He is tickled pink.
Yeah. So, in rotation pool, everybody has a chance.
Yes.
You never know what's going to happen. So
He just rose to the occasion. He
took it one rack at a time.
he's a decent player to begin with, but like when you play better players, you play better pool.
Yeah.
I find that when I player lower level players to my ability, my game kind of takes a nosedive, right? So, and I'm a firm believer in getting better entails playing better players.
100%. It's the only way to get better. Oh, someone's asking you, Dave's asking you, how much was the Stampede tournament?
How much was the Stampede tournament? I actually didn't run that one this year, but I believe it was 125 straight across the board.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Steven is going to draw back onto the 10 ball here. And there we go. He'll be a little happier with his progress in this rack.
Yeah, so James Brinson is asking, is that with green fees? And that is with green fees. I believe the green fees was $10 a player, and that was for the entire weekend. So can't go wrong with that. The Bruins going to benefit. Another game for Steven. Closing the gap. Just a 2-game lead for Ben now.
And thank you very much for the heads up there, Jason. It's just we've been asking them. We're at the point now where we're not going to go ask them anymore. We've told them to turn it down 85 times. It goes off for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I guess the next favorite song comes on, and up she goes again. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, Ryan and I'll just try and keep talking so that we're talking over the music. Typically, if there's only like small gaps of silence in between, the algorithms kind of get booted, but we'll try and keep talking. Sometimes it's nonsense, but we'll do our best.
Brennan is asking, is this the finals? It sure is, and it is a race to 9 here. Steven is our A-side champion, Ben through the B-side, so if Steven loses this set on the 9 foot, they will go to the 7 foot and play a race to 7 10 ball on the 7 foot. Oh, Jason, were you on that plane? My daughter called me about that. I'm from Waterloo, and my little girl lives in Kitchener. She was telling me that the Flair airline overshot the runway at the Kitchener airport.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was just yesterday or the day before.
Well, Jason, you know that we have tons of events here, so hoping you can make it to the next one. Nice little combination by Ben there. Good control on the 1 ball. It's like a little stop shot to keep the 2 down the rail. Followed up for the 3, 4, 5, 6. Lays nicely. 7, 8, 10. I don't see a whole lot of issues here.
No, he got pretty good on this 2 ball. He doesn't really have to do a lot with it. Just make it.
Ooh, played off the bumpers there. Oh, Jason says he wasn't on it, but it was supposed to pick him up in Montreal.
Ah, gotcha.
But definitely affected the plans.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad. I hope everyone was all right. I didn't hear anything on the news yet. We've been at the pool hall for 2 days, so the only news you get here is the local gossip.
Yeah, and who's gambling for what?
Yep.
It's kind of nice, actually. When you walk in here, you kind of shut off the outside world.
Yeah, it is kind of its own little world, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and when there's, crappy things that you don't really want to know about, it's kind of nice to not have to. Yeah.
And we're all kind of bartenders here. You can dump your problems on everybody. They'll sit and listen.
That's right.
And we don't.
It's like therapy
yeah.
session.
We don't say anything until you leave the room, and then you're next week's gossips. Looks like Steven's going to take the hill here. Or Ben's going to get to the hill here.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the layout, and everything is kind of connect the dots. There was no real issues. You didn't have to do a whole lot of traveling. 1 ball led to the next. So Ben just needs to kind of keep his composure here, not get too excited about seeing the finish line. He should be able to force a second set. And as I say that, I don't want to jinx it. As a viewer, we always want to see the second set, right?
I should have got something to eat when Grant did, because now McDonald's is going to be on the menu again, and that's 2 nights in a row.
You're going to have to do some extra pool table laps
Yep.
to walk it off.
You'll have to come back and play extra pool now.
All right,
Ben
3
runs that
rails
around.
around.
He wants this to stop. That's going 50-yard line.
That's what I said. You guys got to keep your composure when you're seeing the finish line getting
Yeah.
closer and closer.
A little adrenaline in the back arm there.
Tend to get a little excited. But Ben's been cutting some pretty thin balls all weekend. So I still favor him to make this shot.
I do too, but it's certainly not the 10 ball you want to get to the hill on.
No, he definitely experienced that. It's supposed to be a little bit easier, but
No problem. Ben says, send it.
Ben's on the hill, everybody.
You know what? No matter what happens here, I mean, Steven puts in the time. Ben has been putting in the time like crazy lately. Both players deserve the win today. It's too bad we couldn't figure out a way to double the money and pay them each. You know?
Right.
And I mean, Ben will be so happy with a win here, because he's had a couple of struggles in the last couple of tournaments, and coming down to the tournament, he's played like a god, and then just something eludes him when he gets into the tournament. His break disappears, or you know. So another
Get a ball.
good break, but I think he's going to come up dry here.
I don't hear anything dropping, and there's a cluster, so
I do like that he went back to that center table break, drawing it back to the back rail, though. And he's not flirting with those side pockets anymore. That was crazy. Steven is going to lock him up here. Yep.
all right. Well, I hope Ben's got his kicking boots on.
Yeah, he may need a lawyer to get out of this. That is jail.
James says, "You never heard of a commentator's curse?" And I'll be honest, I thought about it, and that's why I was kind of like, do I finish my sentence?
We curse them all equally.
That's right. Joey says that she's taking this to her phone, falling asleep to pool commentary tonight instead of sleep music.
Joey, you're the best.
Joey's taking us to bed with her.
She's the best.
It's a little virtual slumber party.
He's going to kick off the one rail. I think he has called the side pocket here. And that is going to lay right in the window.
Does it?
Yeah, it did. He has a full pocket and a full ball.
All right. Steven's going to go walk it off.
Throw a little cold water in his face. Ben's over there melting in his chair. He gives me the 1-inch symbol. He wants this.
Was that
so
the
bad.
1-inch symbol, or was that the your number one symbol?
He was like, yeah, he was an inch away from being exactly where he wanted to be. He was
Yeah.
kicking towards the side, but ultimately, again, coming off the right-hand side of that one ball to get in behind the 9 and 5. But just hit it a hair too hard and ended up opening them up instead of staying behind them. So, and Steven has a dead look on the 1, and he can stop it there or roll forward anywhere. The 2 is available.
3 will
So-
go to the bottom right pocket.
Yep. There is nothing tied up from here, so Steven may get out here.
Ben is on the hill, so Steven is feeling the pressure. It's just kind of like he needs to get out here, or they're going to the 7-foot. Ben was playing pretty solid on the 7-foot earlier. Steven has not hit a ball on the 7-foot all weekend. So, I mean, he would prefer to keep it on the big table.
Oh yeah, Steven doesn't want this to go anywhere other
Yeah,
than here.
of course.
And you know, a 3 or a 4 pack is not out of the reach for Steven either. So he has missed a couple of shots that are uncharacteristic of his game tonight, but you know, we all do it. He's just doing a couple of laps here, composing himself, having a look at the table.
Yeah. He's excited, right? Like, he knows that he's got a window of opportunity here
And just take it one rack at a time.
to go on a little bit of a run. It's not unheard of for Steven to put some racks together, right? So it is entirely possible that he could shut this down right here.
Yeah, the 3 guys that play in Calgary that are, you know, subject to just absolutely go ballistic on you, Steven, Ben, and Joe Spence. I mean, Joe was our 3rd place finisher this evening. He played very, very well. I know he won't be too happy with his performance because he kind of looks for perfection out of himself because he's gotten to that next level now in his
Big
game.
expectations, yes.
So, but he is a fantastic player to watch. One of my favorites.
He's been putting a lot of time into, and I keep telling him, I've told him, like, I don't know, maybe a dozen times over the last month, like, he's been playing some of the best pool I've seen him ever play. And he's made some good choices. Like, he's really starting to gear up. He's trimmed down. He's eating properly. He's exercising.
Yep.
He's putting time in on the table. He's doing everything right. And just sometimes when things don't go according to plan, it's kind of gutting, you know?
Uh-oh. He did not want that 3 and 10 to wire up, but I don't think it's actually wired, but the carom might be on.
I think you could be right. You could be like 3 carom to the 10 to make the pot, but you still got to hit.
Yeah.
You still got to hit the 3, right?
And from the angle that Ben's coming into that 10 and 3, I don't think that the carom or the combo is available. But if Ben doesn't hit this, you can bet your bottom dollar that Stephen will have a good look at the carom. And if not, then the 3 is available to just about every pocket on the table except for the one where the 10 is blocking.
Yeah, I would fully imagine if Steven gets a ball in hand here, the first thing he's going to look at is ending this rack quick.
Yeah.
3 to the 10, break into the next rack.
Or does he try to 3
The
hook
3
the mule
foul.
again?
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible too, right?
I don't think Ben can't do anything with this, but I
Make
wouldn't
contact.
bet against him to make contact for sure. Oh, he's got to do a little bit of swerving.
Yeah.
So
Do not give
Steven
ball
must-
in hand. That is the goal.
Uh-oh. Well, we will now see what's available from our vantage point. It's hard to tell what the angles are, but Steven's going to let us know in a second here.
I feel a punishment coming.
You know what? I don't like it. I wish Steven would just put the hammer down and run out on him.
Does that 3 ball go to the corner?
No, I think he's playing the foul behind the 10 ball.
I don't know if the 3 ball goes.
He was playing for the foul.
Like, from where that 3 ball was, I don't know if it cut to the bottom right. It
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
didn't
he
go
had-
to the top corners.
Yeah, he had
So-
2 or 3 inches between the 10 ball and the 3 ball.
Oh, is that
To
right?
go in the bottom corner here, yeah, and the 4 ball's right there, so that's why I'm saying. I mean, I get it. You get the ball in hand and the 3 foul, but this is a standard kick. This is fairly easy. Now, is he going to get a rail? No, he did not. So Steven has now got Ben on 2 fouls. And he's looking to lock that cue ball behind the 7 ball
Yeah,
off the 3.
you can bet he's looking for number 3.
Yeah, if he gets this to jam on the 7 and the rail, that would be ridiculous to try to kick out of. But he has options. He's got a lot of options here. He could also make the 3 and then push the 4 up table and use the 5 as the hiding ball.
I actually think I like that better because the 3 ball is kind of in isolation, right? Nothing real nearby.
You know what? I have no idea what he's doing. Oh, he is using the 5 ball. Did he get there?
I don't know. I
Did
think.
that sneak out?
Oh, Ben gave him a little bit of a love tap on the table, so it looks like he did get him.
Oh, he's got a... Can he get it from one rail? Yeah, Ben is very fortunate that that cue ball rolled out as far as it did. If it was a half an inch back, there would be no side rail. But I think he can spin off the rail just above the 8-ball. Oh, wow, this is touchy. But I think the angle opens up enough to catch the backside of the 4. So, well, we're going to find out in 1 second here. Yep.
Great
He
hit.
escapes 3-foul death again.
Great hit. It's unfortunate the 4-ball didn't travel just a little bit. 6-8 inches, a little bit more to the bottom rail.
Well, now Stephen has to run it.
Scott, I see your message and I will check on it tomorrow. We will get you figured out. Don't you worry.
Yeah, and it's an awesome color too. Anyway, it's that turquoisey blue one. I love that. Like
We
the greeny
have-
blue one, right?
Actually, we have all of them. We got tons of sizes. Don't worry. Lots of color options.
Oh, that's right. You had them out here at the Hui.
It was like
That's
the blue
right.
on blue, the turquoise on blue, the
The blue and orange. Yeah, that's
blue and
right.
orange, the green. Yep.
Oh, I agree 100%, Mac. He is definitely kicking world class today. He has escaped some situations I wouldn't have got out of, that's for sure. I mean,
Yeah. Some impossible lockups he's gotten out of.
and on the one that matters too, the third.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
James says it's always fun to 3-foul your opponent. Agreed. These guys play some amazing safeties. That is definitely one element of my game that needs to be worked on.
he's got a great angle here. He's just going to kind of pop back off the other side rail and come back around for the 9-ball. Kind of punch this over off the long rail and back out. Perfectly executed. I even think he has enough. Is he straight enough to follow, or is he going to have to draw off this 9-ball of hair and come to the right-hand side of the 10-ball?
I think he's just going to skate over.
Perfect.
Little punch. All right, so Steven's going to close the gap by 1. Still a little bit more work to do, but the good news is that he's breaking, and he's breaking like a beast.
Yeah, he certainly is looking to 3-foul Ben for a little payback for sure.
Well, we were talking outside with Steven, and we kind of said to him, like, did you do that just because your confidence level has kind of like come down a little bit? Because he did miss like a fairly, not an easy ball, but I mean a ball that he typically wouldn't miss, right? And he did say that it was in his mind. He just like, play smart.
Yeah.
Don't take the risk. And that happens, right? I mean, you can't play at 100% all the time. And so at those times where you find that you're struggling, sometimes, the balls to the wall method is not the answer.
Yeah, and look at this. The 1 is not going to stay up. It's the 2-ball is rolled behind the 7. Steven is wondering who he has to pay off to have a ball after the break, because he is breaking beautifully, just not getting any love afterwards. The way that the table spreads wide open, his cue ball squats right there, it's just picture perfect. So he does have the outside edge of that 2-ball, so he should be able to run around the table into the back side of
Yeah, he just clips the
Easy.
edge.
It's going too far.
Is it going to
too
leak
far.
out?
He's good, I think. Yeah. I don't know if the jump is on either because he has to jump such a far distance. That 2 ball, if the cue ball is still hopping.
He's contemplating it. Ben's taking the back off of his jumping cue.
Yeah, he's got to just miss the 10 ball here. You can't jump much further than that or the ball will be hopping. He got it down fast
Nailed
enough.
it.
And he got some love on the 3 ball. We might be going to the 7 foot very shortly here. What a shot by Ben Francis. Coming when he needs the clutch shot. He's hit a couple of those clutch jumps tonight. That one in the first match with Joe where he jumps and makes the 6 ball and hits it with right hand jump spin to come 2 rails out to get on the 7. I mean, Grant and I we were blown away. It was the shot of the match.
These guys make some incredible shots.
Yeah.
Like that thin slice for perfect shape on the floor.
I mean,
They make it look real easy.
He didn't intentionally, I'm going to answer Romeo's question here, he didn't intentionally forfeit his match. What had happened is his flight got in late to Puerto Rico, missed the players meeting, and in that players meeting they said that black pants were mandatory at the matches, and when Stephen got to his match he was wearing his dressy khakis, and he was about a 40-minute drive from his hotel, so didn't have the time to go back to his hotel and back before the match started, so they had to forfeit his match.
Which is unfortunate.
Very.
He had a really great match first draw. He was supposed to play Chua.
He was going to play John Chua. I had a question that I wanted to ask Grant earlier, and it's not to say, oh, how come he gets it and how come he doesn't get it, but Alex Pagulayan was wearing light green pants in one of his matches with Jay Shaw.
Yeah, so somebody was actually saying that in the chat earlier. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or on Facebook, but they said, I would hope that he got some reimbursement for his entry fee because it was not regulated evenly throughout for all the players.
Right.
Because Alex was wearing something that was questionable and somebody else was wearing something that was not kind of, the mandatory
black
dress code. Yep. Yeah. So I said I would mention that to Stephen later, but it is what it is. You can only just kind of worry about yourself sometimes. It's unfortunate that it seems like there's different rules depending on kind of like who's managing at the time. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, Dave. Thank you very much for correcting me there. It was he jumped to the 5 ball and spun around for the 6, and we are going to the 7 foot.
Did that just happen?
That just happened.
Ben Francis just pulled off the forced second set. So we're going to take some time here. I think Stephen's going to take some time and hit some balls on the 7 foot. Yeah. Ben's probably going to take a few minutes to reset and get refreshed.
He may go outside and do the Willie Mays Hayes shuffle too. He's pretty happy.
Yes. Okay. So, Grant's saying I think the rule is specific to no khakis. Yeah, I don't know. That may or may not be true. I don't know. But if you're going to make a blanket rule and saying you have to wear black pants, it should be black pants for everybody.
Yeah. Just make that a standard dress code in all of your tournaments right from the get-go then nobody's confused. You tell them black pants and black shoes from here on out, and that's what everyone will show up in.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, so guys, we're going to take a few minutes just to reset everything, swing the cameras back over to the 7 foots,
Steph is going to go back to work here.
and we'll be back with the second set. Ben Francis versus Stephen Holem. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, and you'll get a notification when we go live in about, I would say, give us about 15 minutes or so. Thanks for joining us. Don't go far. We'll be right back.